polarization that's in politics and all that, our district has been able to hold things together tightly with a community that supports it, and the kids are benefiting. And you can see incremental change every single year that's getting better. No one is saying this is good enough. That's good leadership. That's great support by the community. And that's something that I want to be part of, and I want to continue to be able to push for.
Thank you. Candidate White.
I would agree that some of the highlights of Livermore education is that we have the wholehearted support of the community. We also do specific things at specific grade levels which become highlights for the students. Fifth graders go to outdoor education. Third graders go to Ag Day at Livermore High. Second graders go now do Shakespeare, thanks to the Shakespeare group. And you know, when we asked a little boy, second grade, what he learned from Shakespeare, he said that ass wasn't always a bad word. So Shakespeare will teach you a lot. I think we also must consider the 10% the 10% cuts that we had to make before you all were around. But was on my first year on the board. We had been in it 8 weeks maybe, and we cut 10% of our budget from the high 40s to the low 40s. But by George, class sizes went up, and the next year the teacher said, we're not taking this anymore, and Granada invented the block plan. So, you know, budget cuts help you focus on what is really important. And in Livermore, class size is king. And the class sizes at the high schools had gone up to 36 and maybe 38 because of scheduling things. They weren't having it anymore. We listened to the teachers. I lobbied 3 times at the State Board of Education to get the waiver that we needed for class size for the Granada block plan. The time was a minutes waiver. The kids weren't in school long enough. We haven't had a waiver for a long time. We need to have an innovation approach and culture in Livermore so that we can do things better. What we're doing very well, but we do need to do things better.
Thank you, Candidate White. Candidate Runyon.
Well, this is a really exciting question. I have to say, I don't know that there's a specific answer, though, because the answer is different for every student. It's that student reaching their goals, and maybe a goal they didn't know that they had when they started. If they start out being a math science geek and they find that they just love music, what a wonderful thing. If they start out as an art student who thought they couldn't do math and they find that, wow, they got a math teacher that really connected with them. It's the students reaching their goals and societal goals that students need to be prepared, whether they're going to college or directly to a career, if they're going to a 2-year, 4-year, if they're going to a certificate program, if they're prepared and successful in their own lives, then I'm thrilled. I'm agnostic as to the form. I want the kids to have all those opportunities. Things that I'm proud of that we do, the music program, the science programs, the debate, and Mr. Bueno talked about the bilingual students winning their debate in both English and then turning around and doing the debate in Spanish. It was such an impressive accomplishment. The maker spaces that are just expanding kids' minds, deconstructing things, looking how they work and thinking about, if I were going to build it, would I do it differently? Wonderful things. The biotech pathway, the summer reading program in conjunction with the library. There's all kinds of wonderful educational achievement, but I think the most important achievement is the student reaching what their goals are in conjunction with their parents, what they want, and preparing them for success in life after school.
Thank you. Candidate Prusa.
I would say one of the things that I was really excited to see was the district rollout with the Choose Love initiative this year. I've noticed a difference that it's made in the schools, and I think it's really a beautiful program, and I think it's also necessary at this time. And I think that is one of the highlights right now. I think I appreciate that as a parent. I also think that we have some amazing coaches. My kids have had some great experiences in doing sports. And also, I have friends whose children are in the dual immersion school, and they are very happy there. And I think they're doing great things there, as Kate mentioned. I'm also really impressed with the middle college and what that has done for our community, and what that has done for individuals who, for whatever reason, maybe regular high school is not working for them, and middle college has been a great way for them to move on with their education in a different and innovative way. And I have to say, hands down, for us as a family, hopefully I'm not going to start crying, the most important thing is we've had some really incredible teachers. And I think that's the best thing for our family, is having these amazing teachers and hoping that they can mentor and help other teachers get along. Susan Johnston at Livermore High School with her calculus camp, where the kids go and they do calculus for 3 days, which is crazy, but they all pass the AP calculus exam. And I think that that's really important, that we have teachers who really care about that kind of thing. And so for me, that is the most important thing. And my son just started a metal shop class, and he is just thrilled to bits with it. So there are just a lot of great opportunities in our district, and there's a lot of wonderful things that are happening. And I know that we can. There we go.
Thank you, Candidate Prusso. Candidate Von Heater.
Yeah, I mean, I think when you think about educational highlights, you think about your kind of piece of the world. And for me, it's Lawrence and Christensen and Livermore High primarily. So I think about, and Junction as well. And I think about the Science Odyssey. That's one thing that came to mind. The Science Odyssey that Junction hosts. It's just impressive. Seeing some of these top-notch students, some of the things they're producing. And actually some of those also getting recognized at the Livermorium Day, and just being proud of what our students are producing at the elementary and middle school levels and above. The makerspace at Maryland, I hear, Lawrence has a makerspace, but, our librarian that helps oversee it always talks about the makerspace at Maryland. It's a point of pride for them, and it's really impressive. I think about the baseball championships. I think academically or educationally, think about all the curriculars, right? The extracurriculars, music and sports. I think about the baseball championships at Livermore High School. I think that's a big source of pride for them. I went to the music concert. I think it was the spring. That was the joint effort between Christensen, East, and Livermore. I'm just blown away by these talented students and what they're performing and producing with their teachers. So I think that's fantastic. And then also at Livermore High, the Green Engineering Program. I was just talking to someone earlier about that. That's a source of pride as a growing, building, innovative opportunity for high school students. So I think those are a lot of great highlights happening district-wide, but those are some of the ones that come top of mind.
So thank you, candidates. That concludes our round of questions. I'm going to turn it over to Ellen for closing remarks.
Thank you. I'd like to say I did receive one question from the audience, but given the format of this forum, we've decided not to take questions from the audience at this time. Anybody in the audience we left the contact information, your email information on a piece of paper. Anybody from the audience who would like to ask questions, you're more than welcome to communicate with the candidates directly. With that, let me put my glasses on. I'd like to close this forum by thanking all of the candidates for their participation. I would also like to thank the audience for their attendance this evening. If you have additional questions, sorry about this, I'm repeating myself. If you have any additional questions, please feel free to contact candidates directly. You will find contact information and additional materials as you exit. Thank you to Monica Bakke for serving as our moderator this evening, and Tammy Miller for assisting. Yay!
And Ellen.
And to the voters, please remember to vote on Tuesday, November the 6th. The polls are open from 7 a.m. to 8 p.m. And don't forget that if you need an absentee ballot, the last day to request one is October the 30th. Thank you all, and have a fantastic night.